conditions either.
You're looking at Justin Wilson, who is on target to score his first World Championship point for Jaguar. And driving very well this afternoon is Justin Wilson, keeping it on the island, steady. He's behind Juan Montoya on the road. We always welcome your email questions here at F1 ITV. We have one from Damien Fawcett from Rochester in Kent, who wants to know what will happen if two drivers end the season with identical championship points. Could happen if we go on to Suzuka in a couple of weeks' time. And the answer, Damien, is that Michael Schumacher would be the champion because he's got more victories, as another big retirement then for BAR. And Jacques Villeneuve, that looked like a pretty terminal engine failure. He's out of the car pretty sharpish.
Yeah, I'll put that down to electronic problems, I'd imagine. The piston went through the wiring loom. So Villeneuve falling out of 9th place then, really wasn't in contention, was just coming under pressure from D'Amata in the sole remaining Toyota. Panis put the other one into the hedge. And what is this all about? This is Montoya, who is now just 2.7 seconds behind Fisichella to move him up into 6th place.
Yeah,
tantalizingly close to the 5th place he needs to keep his championship chances alive.
Well, certainly being in 6th would be one thing, but the bad news for him is that Fisichella is 70 seconds behind the 5th place man Heidfeld. So Montoya, if he can pass the Jordan, is then going to need one of the guys in front to drop out of the Grand Prix. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. We've seen plenty of retirements here this afternoon, but if that does not happen, then Montoya is out of championship contention into Suzuka. It will strictly be between Raikkonen and Michael Schumacher in Japan in a fortnight.
Montoya's about to frighten Fisichella off the road down there, blow him out of the way if he gets anywhere near him down the back straight. And Heidfeld's in the action there, but he's not in this for position. He's a lap ahead of them. Nick Heidfeld currently P5, and Montoya slow onto the pit straight as it happens. You watch him just eat them up now as that low downforce setting gives him such speed. Look at that, what a slingshot. The engine starts revving. It's a great feeling. It's like somebody's sucking you along, and he does indeed pass, almost past the pair of them. But I remind you, Heidfeld is a lap ahead of him. But Montoya, what's he got to do now? The next man down the road is Nick Heidfeld. He's a lap behind the man he's got to pass.
Talk about an irony. The man he'd love to just have an engine failure or some sort of technical problem, just get out of his way and give him half a chance going into Japan. But there we are, he's staring at his rear wing, knowing that he's got to make up somehow a whole lap, a whole 1 minute and 13 seconds in order to take it on to Suzuka.
Well, if he does a Barrichello on him, maybe just tip him into the gravel or something. Not got a lot to lose now, really, has he? Not I'm suggesting he should do it, but P6 means nothing today for Montoya.
No, the points would be welcome in any other circumstance, but not today after the Tom and Jerry afternoon that he's had of incidents and misfortunes and prangs. It's just simply not going to be enough. 5 laps to go here at Indianapolis. They come whipping out of this magnificent turn 13, 190 miles an hour as they go down the long straight, touching 220 miles an hour before the braking zone, as we look at a replay of Jacques Villeneuve. And that's what it looks like when a 900 horsepower engine decides it's had enough.
Yeah, serious terminal problems inside. That's where the oil starts getting into the combustion chamber, and Jacques, flames licking around there at the back. Look, the oil burning away. Jacques deciding he's had enough of that, and off he goes. Michael Schumacher then cruising around now in the 1 minute 13s. He could go a second and a half per lap faster than that if he needed to. Raikkonen crucially in 2nd place, 21 seconds adrift, and no sign of any activity whatsoever in the McLaren pit.
No, that means that it doesn't look as though the splash and dash is going to be necessary. Ted can tell us more, perhaps.
James, that is certainly the feeling I get down here. I've been to every other top team, I can tell you, asking them, what do you think? What do your guys on the pit wall think? They say, we don't know. It's going to be very, very tight if he does have to come in. We think that he's managed to lean out the engine and make it these laps last. It would have been a long time, but I can tell you, the helmets are starting to come off. The pit boys have taken their helmets off. I don't think Raikkonen's going to come in again. I think that's it. P2, here we come.
Well spotted, Ted, and thanks for that. Schumacher then on lap 70, just 3 laps to go, but he won't be punching the air for World Championship number 6, will he? Because Kimi Raikkonen, 20 seconds adrift, but crucially in P2 and 8 World Championship points. But you have to say, Michael heads to Suzuka with not a big task on his hands.
No, it's a simple task for Suzuka. If it finishes like this, Michael Schumacher simply needs 1 point. That's all he needs. And Raikkonen would have to win the race anyway in order for anything other than Schumacher to win the championship. So shouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility, but you never know. Michael might not finish the race and Raikkonen might well win it. It's been that sort of season in Formula One this year. Totally unpredictable. Who would have known that today's race would shape up the way it did? But he has driven absolutely magnificently. Rather off colour yesterday in qualifying. Said it's not a disaster being in 7th place. It's not ideal either, but he had a little glint in his eye, felt he had a good package for the race, but certainly the weather conditions and the Bridgestone wet tyres have helped him considerably. But hats off to Kimi Raikkonen. This has been a really dogged drive in completely adverse conditions for the young Finn, and he's handled it brilliantly.
Yes, he kept it on the island. I think Sauber have done a solid job. They saved a pit stop. They pitted it just, well, certainly Frentzen did. He's only stopped twice this afternoon. That's the least number of anybody. Damat has been in 6 times, including his drive-throughs and changing to wet, back to slick, back to wets again. Chies has been in 5 times. Furman was in 6 times too. Lots of activity in the pit lane. Frentzen only coming in twice. Sauber have handled the conditions very well too. 3rd and 5th for them at the moment, and up to that point they'd only scored 9 World Championship points, so they'll leapfrog Jordan and and Toyota too, be right in there joining the BAR and Jaguar fight, which is looking good too, because Wilson's in with a chance of a World Championship point to bring Jaguar absolutely level with BAR.
Well, it's looking as though this man's championship dream is going to be over here this afternoon. Juan Montoya is still in 6th place. Just a couple of laps to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And he needed 5th or better to take it on. So it will be down to Michael Schumacher and Kimi Raikkonen in Japan in 2 weeks' time. Tony George, the president and owner of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, is the man who waves the checkered flag here to finish the race. You recall his confusion last year when Michael Schumacher slowed to allow Rubens Barrichello to pass. That's not going to happen here this afternoon. Michael Schumacher is going to keep his foot planted to the floor as he begins his final lap, and he is going to win the American Grand Prix, and well, he will deserve it. And tantalising though, the championship will continue on.
Sauber are going to jump from 9th in the championship out of 10 right up to 5th if they maintain this result, right into the thick of the action for that big squabble there with BAR, Jaguar and Toyota. It's going to be very close. That's going to be interesting to watch. But the Constructors' Championship will be far from settled this afternoon. Something to watch out for very much in Suzuka, and the teams, that's super critical to these teams. They all really want to win that one too, as well as the drivers. And at the moment, Michael Schumacher's sailing very, very tantalisingly close to that, but not quite close enough, thank goodness for us.
Well, it's been the most exciting World Championship for many, many years, but Michael Schumacher has given himself one gigantic step closer to a record 6th world title. He just needs 1 point in Suzuka then, as he comes across the start-finish line to win the American Grand Prix. It's his 2nd victory here at Indianapolis, his 6th of the season, and a wonderful 70th career win for Michael Schumacher. And look how much it means to him. He is absolutely ecstatic. But where is Raikkonen? Where is Raikkonen? He was 19 seconds behind, and he goes across the start-finish line now. So we will be going on to decide this World Championship in Japan.
So, no sign